Today I wanted to make a video on smartphones and mixed reality and if we're going to have those two combined or if they're just going to be a future of mixed reality. Let's get into it. Now, the Apple Vision Pro came out 2 weeks ago and I have honestly been seeing loads of information about this, about the headset being the future, about it being the new possibilities we're going to have, it being the new computer, it's going to be the new smartphone. And I've been really thinking on it. I've been really thinking, is this going to be the future? Are mixed reality headsets the future? Are they what we're going to be using in 15, 20, even 20 years? I mean, Meta have been around for a long time. They started off as Oculus and obviously Facebook bought them. And then now we have the Meta Quest 3, which is honestly a really good deal for what it is. Now, recently Meta have obviously come up against the competition of Apple and they've made more strides forward to make Windows be floating in midair, make the touch interface useful with just your hands, make the pass-through really good. And I think a lot of people's vision on what they thought mixed reality was going to be has changed. A lot of people thought that we were going to be living in VR all the time and that was the future. But in my opinion, AR was always going to be the future. AR and being able to see the world in front of us is the future. That is exactly what I always thought was going to be the case. This is what Apple's vision was from day one. They used to advertise it all the time with our iPhones, and I knew then that there is going to be the definite possibility that a mixed reality headset will come out in the future that could do AR, overlay over our reality. And I think that is the way forward we're going. Now, obviously, we're going to have those immersive stances where we can go fully immersed in something and we're going to be encased by it and we can get really immersed in a show and feel like we're there. But I think AR is going to be a more crucial thing. AR is going to be able to help us in our daily lives. For example, the example of builders, if they want to be able to see a building or how much resources they're going to need, what resources they need to pick up, it can overlay onto our reality. It's the same for direction. If we're going, if we're walking through the street or we're in the car, we can have an overlay where we're going. And it's honestly really useful. I mean, some cars already have AR, obviously not in front of your eyes, but on the screens in the car, and it's a massive help because you can see where you're actually meant to be going without it just telling you, and it's a massive help. Do I think Apple entering the mixed reality headspace and making spatial computing more mainstream and more talked about? Because yes, the Meta Quest was talked about a lot and it's been a massive thing over the news over these past 10 years. But it's been really focused on gaming. It hasn't really been focused on making it an accessible product for everyone. It's been focused on gaming and making sure, people have some sort of VR headset. But that's what it's been. It's been a mainly focused VR headset. Now, does this mean that Meta made the wrong decision? They should have focused on AR? No. Technology at the time they started was very different to the way it is now. Now we have better cameras that can support better pass-through, and we now know the vision that we want to go through. And that's the most important thing, is now we know what people want, thanks to Apple Vision Pro, proving to people that, yeah, number one, you don't have to get nauseous if you're in a VR headset. You don't even have to just have one company's headset now. There are so many companies making different headsets and, different options we can have. This is a very viable option to go, you know what, I want to buy a AR headset and I want to be able to use it and watch movies and use it for work and have it as a massive screen with my laptop. It's honestly a massive change. And I definitely think that this focus on AR has really changed the way that people start thinking of having a headset on their head. Because before, people didn't want to have things on their head. If we look at Google Glass, that was a massive fail, but for its time, it was really far ahead. It was thinking in the right direction. I mean, obviously, it wasn't as good as something like Apple Vision Pro or Meta Quest 3, but it definitely knew what it was trying to aim for, and I think that's a very important thing. We don't talk about that enough, that Google Glass was definitely right with what it was trying to go for. A lot of people just didn't give it the chance. They didn't think that it was good enough, and I definitely think that things have changed now. Now, would I say to you, go out and buy this first generation of Apple Vision Pro? Absolutely not. It's only going to get better from here. And I definitely say that this first generation is for people that are enthusiastic about this new technology. And it's for Apple to bring it out to the widestream public so they can also test if it is actually a product that people want. And so far, people have been proving that. People have been willing to spend $3,500 on getting this headset, trying it out, seeing what it's like, and letting other people try it. This is one of the products that people have been letting other people try because it's so cool. It's like the smartphone back in 2007 when it got released by Apple. They are making massive strides in making a new technology popular and for people to understand. Apple Vision Pro is very simple to understand. You control it with your eyes and your hands. You don't need to understand how a controller works. You don't need to understand how a UI interface works. Because it's Apple, people are used to having it on their iPhone, Macs, iPads, Apple Watches. Everything looks similar. So people can understand the UI a lot. Especially if you've got an Apple Watch, everything's controlled by this digital crown up here. It honestly makes such a massive difference. Now, when Apple stepped into this space, I definitely thought that they were going to do it better. I thought they were going to do it better than every other competition. But I'd say it's massively improved over Meta Quest and some of the other less brands in the space. I wouldn't say it's better, I just say it does things slightly easier. It does things in a better way. Everything's not so jank. But for $3,500, it's definitely not worth it. It's definitely more worth it to go for a Meta Quest if you just care about being in an AR space / VR space. And it's definitely one of those things that I'd recommend for the normal person to go for. But it is a good product. Undeniably, Apple Vision Pro is a good product, and it's definitely something that you should consider in the future when it comes in a slimmer form factor and it comes in a nicer, sleek, more cheap price. But the reason why Apple have named it Apple Vision Pro is very obvious to me. This is always going to be the Pro lineup, that's why it's expensive. But Apple Vision is what they're going for. They're going for a product that's going to be slim on the face, light, that everyone can access, and compete with Meta Quest without everyone saying, yeah, it competes with Meta Quest, but it's also $3,000 more expensive than Meta Quest. And that's what we've got to focus on, is trying to get this product as good as possible for everyone to be able to use. Because the more people that buy it, the more people that test it, and the more people that are enjoying it, giving it good, bad reviews, it helps. It helps Apple know what people want, helps know the things that are going wrong with it, and not just having it in a small group of people at Apple that are either, gonna love the product because they've made it, or they've had some input in it, or because they just work at Apple. People are gonna be biased. And also, having this product in the wild means that any software glitches, any software things that people want, before a massive amount of people come for it. Now, Apple did not predict this product was going to do well. They made 80,000 units and it ended up doing about 200,000 sales, which is absolutely insane. 200,000 sales on a product this expensive. It proves that people are willing to spend the money. And this market is only over in America. Now, yes, when it comes to Europe, are people going to be more inclined to buy it? Possibly. But I don't know yet. I honestly can't wait to see what the future holds for Apple. I think what Apple needs to do to make this product more, easy for people to understand and for people to want is to make screen capturing between phones and Apple Watch is better. So for example, if you look at the product that is linked to your iCloud account, it will quickly cast it onto your face so you can actually see the phone screen without actually having to look at the phone, because that's one of the massive downfalls at the moment with Apple Vision Pro, is that when you try and look at stuff close up, it's very blurry, because obviously it's cameras at the end of the day, it's not our eyes that can adjust to different things at the same time. Now, would I say that this is a massive feature that definitely needs to come for people to be able to buy it? No. But in more integration with iOS devices, it's definitely going to be a focus for Apple, because the more people that understand how this software works and how similar it looks to the iPhone's operating system, it's definitely going to pick up more traction. I definitely say that's a very important thing, is to make it as easy to understand, as like the iPhone as possible at the start, so that people are more willing to pick it up. More people are willing to pay that price because they understand the product. And that is the really important part. It's making people understand why this product is the future and why it is important for everyone to use. At the moment, AR and VR have been something that people have laughed at and looked at and gone, oh, that won't happen. That's not going to be realistic. Meta haven't done it great. And that's what really put people off, is Meta had not done it great, but it was cheaper. Now, Apple entering this space is going to mean that more people are going to have more eyes in it, and more people are going to believe in it if Apple steps into it. As long as Apple do this right, they have a very good thing on their hands, and it's just trying to get every single generation to understand that, yes, this is the future. Having something in front of our eyes that can easily understand what we're trying to say with a neuro interface, and also having things overlaid on our reality, makes our lives 10 times easier. Definitely not VR, and definitely not being in a fake world. That is not what people want. Apple have got the right thing here. We're doing mixed reality and focusing on AR. But if you did enjoy this video and you do have something you want to comment down below about Apple Vision Pro or Meta Quest Pro, please do comment down below and like this video. It's been Harry. I'm out. Peace.